Hello there boys and girls, welcome to Scottish Geeks. Today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who Series 9 Episode 10, Face the Raven. Spoilers will be in effect here, so please do note if you have not seen the episode already, don't watch on unless you want to get the thing spoiled. I won't really tell you too much about it. No, I bloody will. Okay, so basically starting off with the episode, we find out that the Doctor has done something to possibly get married to a plant creature? I don't know, there was something about plant creature anyway. And Clara saved them and everything was happy and great until all of a sudden there was a ringing on the phone. Yes, the TARDIS telephone went off and it was Rigsby. Yes, Rigsy, that's the one, Rigsy. I keep thinking of someone else whose name sounds like that, who does artwork. But anyway, it was Rigsy. So Rigsy has discovered he has a strange tattoo on his neck of some numbers that seem to be counting backwards to 0 once a minute. So the Doctor, of course, is mildly intrigued, and Clara goes, you know, let's go and check it out. And he does his whole, pretend I'm not bloody interested in all that shite and all that. So he goes back with her and he goes, yes, tattoo, that's not odd at all. Oh, no, wait, it changed, that's weird. I like weird. And as a baby, but we don't really give a damn. Anyway, so moving on, we discover that Rigsy has some memory loss of the night before. He can't remember what happened, where he got the tattoo from. Basically sounds like a simple night out. So basically the Doctor then scans him and the cards come back. The little note cards when he wants to see something nice but he can't think of anything. They come back. So the Doctor then decides, you know, he's going to try and save him, obviously, because that's what he does. He's the Doctor, he tries to save someone. So they go and try to look for the place that nobody can find. You know, there's alien streets in London. Ooh, where have we heard something like that before? Secret streets in the middle of London. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking diagonally. Possibly. No, anyway, so eventually they find this secret street, and apparently it turns out that Rigsy may or may not have murdered someone, so he had a death sentence put on him, and then they wiped his memory, so he has no idea why he's going to die. But, you know, it's just one of those things, I guess. So anyway, we meet with a shield and stuff, and it turns out this entire street is a refugee camp for aliens, including Cybermen, Sontarans, any of the nasty aliens you can think of. There's even Jadoon there, acting as law enforcement. Well, technically that's what Jadoon does, they act as law enforcement. But anyway, yeah, so they go through the street to meet Shielda then makes a promise to Clara. Clara will be protected, blah 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 blah. So they move along. So then we find out there's this other force in the street called the Shade. The Shade is basically judge, jury and executioner of the street. And whenever Shielda, who is also part of this judge, jury, executioner thing, basically sentenced a Cyberman to death for stealing medical equipment for his wife. I didn't get that part. His wife. Seriously, Cybermen have wives? I didn't expect that at all. But anyway, so we see what the Raven does. Basically enters the body and dissolves all the organs, or at least that's what I'm taking from it, because he screamed in agony before it exited his mouth in a plume of smoke. So of course they all see this, and they all see the fact that this Cyberman's wife decides that she wants to take on the responsibility. So Clara has bright idea number one. As always, Clara has these fantastic ideas that you just know are never going to work. So she takes the tattoo from Rigsy, thus allowing him to live, and what she thinks is it's going to give him extra bargaining power because the Shielda promised never to hurt her. There goes, she has the tattoo, Shielda can't hurt her, negating the whole thing. Doesn't quite work out like that. So the lady that was apparently murdered was something called a Janus, which is a two-headed creature. Here we go, we're going back into the whole hybrid thing again. This whole series has been about hybrids and death. Hybrids and death, yes. So they find their son, who's not actually a boy, but is actually a girl, and then they talk about the future and the past and things like that, and then they discover it's actually Shielda who's murdered the lady. And the Doctor goes back in and discovers that she's not actually dead. She was in some sort of a stasis pod. So in order to open the stasis pod again, he has to use his TARDIS key. When the TARDIS key goes in, the Doctor can't move his hand, and when he brings his hand back, he's got this cool little looking bracelet on, and it turns out Shielda had been working for someone else the entire time. Shielda betrayed the Doctor, but that's okay, because you know the Doctor can get out of shit like that. you know, it's just one of those things. So Clara eventually says, you know, why did you do that? Shielda says, it's for someone else and I want your confession disc, etc, etc, and then tells Rigsy that she's going to remove the tattoo. This is when it all goes wrong. Because Clara took the tattoo, she negated the original contract, meaning that Shielda has no power to remove the tattoo. Then we have a very incredibly emotional speech with the Doctor about how he should not take revenge after the Doctor, of course, you know, threatens the Shielda to within an inch of everyone's lives. But she makes him promise not to hurt anyone, etc, etc, etc. But she is going to die. That's a fact. There is no coming back from it. There is no more Clara Oswald. So she faces her fate as bravely as she can and dies screaming in the middle of the street with the Doctor watching, unable to do anything. So Clara's now dead. The Doctor is incredibly pissed off but can't do a thing about it because he promised Clara. He walks back in and he says to Shielda, I'm going to try my best to do what Clara said, and she says, yes, I know she was protecting you. No, she was protecting you. And just know that this is a very small universe. You don't want to get in my way when I'm angry. Now, the Doctor is incredibly, incredibly angry just now. And I actually would have thought that Shielda would have removed the teleport and let him go on his merry way, you know, as a sign of condolences, but no, he still gets teleported away. And of course Rigsy's left on his own, but you know, everything works out then. So then the end credits come up, it says to be continued, and the very end of the credits, if you didn't watch it, please do watch the end of the credits. Rigsy has painted a mural on the TARDIS of flowers and a portrait of Clara in her memory. So that was the end of the episode. Now, a lot of people out there would get very emotional and things like that, and very, very sad about the whole Clara's dying thing, but it was kind of like it was gearing up to this. We all knew it was going to happen. It didn't have this right impact that I thought it was going to. It was just, you knew it was happening. So when it happened, it was there, it was done, dusted. Now you're kind of wondering, is Rigsy going to be the new companion? Who's going to be the new companion? And where the hell did she send the Doctor to? Because there was a little bit of coming soon for next week, but we'll talk about next week's when it happens. But I don't know. I didn't think it had the impact that it was going to. I think it was kind of half-heartedly handled. It was like they knew she was going to leave, but they didn't have any idea of what they were going to do to make her leave. So, you know, there's no impact of the death. You know, she was there and now she's not. That's it. You know, there was no. The Doctor, I assumed, was going to run over to her body and carry her away, but no, he just leaves her in the middle of the street. That's not the Doctor. That's not the Doctor. But nobody gave a shit. They stood and talked for a couple of minutes about things after she died. You know, it was like, what? That's not how you react, man. Seriously. But anyway, yeah, so Clara's dead. The Doctor is now missing in action. The TARDIS is left on its own. Rigsy has painted a mural. And Shielda better start packing her bags, man. Anyway, so what did you guys think of this episode? I would give it a 6 out of 10, actually. I did not enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed previous episodes. Last week was amazing. But this episode, no, sorry, I did not enjoy it that much. It didn't have the impact that it should have had, and it was too rushed, if you know what I mean. The story was long, but it was rushed at the same time. There was too much packed into it. They could have just done a 5-minute thing where it was the death of Clara and then how the Doctor dealt with it afterwards. That would have been a good episode. You know, showing the Doctor's rage and Rigsy maybe trying to calm him down, and you know, like something like that, and maybe remembering times with Clara or other versions of Clara maybe appearing to mourn for their lost version. I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, boys and girls. Please don't forget to like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the episode down below, and I'll catch you next time. But until then, bye bye.